Principles. This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talkin' Tarot, so feel free to drop your questions in. We'll do as many readings as we can within the next hour or two. And otherwise, we can just hang out and chat. I'll go ahead and get some stuff set up, starting with our mats. We'll see what we end up using today. I feel like we had a lot of Prisma yesterday, or well, not yesterday, Monday. Maybe that's yesterday for some of you. All right. And we might as well shuffle. Okay. Halfway through the week. Season's getting darker here, but I guess that's good lighting for the stream, so can't complain too much. Oop. Okay. That's probably enough. I guess we'll shuffle all of them. I think we used them all last time. And Lost Forest wasn't the least used. Well, I guess we didn't use the spread machine stuff, but that's understandable. Let's get one more. Okay. So that one's good to go. Of course, I'm probably going to shuffle them anyways, just out of habit, as I'm going through the question. I think it's nice to set them up, to prime them, so to speak. Okay, I guess we'll call that there. Hands are just feeling a touch sticky. Okay, last one. I guess I could. Well, yeah, I hate to do meta stuff when I could be answering questions instead, but the downside is if someone hops on, I won't see them. And maybe that means I should just get another monitor or something. Okay. All right, our decks are ready. Set that down. And now, wait for your questions, or I monologue, I guess. Excuse me. I'm trying to figure out, would I do a spread for myself? I hate to do it when it's just for fun. I rather have honest questions. And I don't really have a question right now. So I think we'll leave that aside. Yeah. We could talk through. I don't know if it's very useful to go through different spreads because, I mean, I inevitably just sense which cards are relevant and then make the spread afterwards. There's definitely similarities between readings, but nothing's really set in stone. I mean, apart from the person who wanted I guess I have the yes-no spread. That's pretty consistent. Unless I just get a one card answer, but usually we like to get a little more nuance. I'll go ahead and show that for now. So this is the yes-no spread I usually use. So 3 cards, a lot like your past, present, future sort of setup. But based off of the combination, we'll get yes or no or somewhere in between. So that's what I've been referencing. But yeah, apart from that spread, one person requested a Celtic cross or a Celtic cross. I don't know how it's said. I'll have to check. Otherwise, it's just question. And I guess I'm trying to think if that's the same person who's particular about the deck they like to pick. I can't remember. Let's go ahead and set that down. We could play with the spread machine stuff. The only issue here is that this is for putting together a spread that you then lay cards on. And if I don't really intend to read, then I don't know how much good that is. Hey, cup of tea. How's it going? Because I mean, it's kind of fun to go through these, but it does have that purpose. And if it's not for that, then well, maybe time would be better spent. Excellent. Just hanging out, or do you perhaps have a question for me? Well, I don't do audio work for anyone right now, so I can't say offhand what podcast it would be. It really must be just a similar voice. Though I think about that now and then, just doing audio stuff, voiceover. Yep. Let's see. I'll go ahead and stash these. And just since that's the mat that's on top right now. So I guess, do you have a question you would like me to read for? Or do you just want to chat? Because that's fine too. Just to clarify, when you say spouses, are you thinking plural spouses or are you thinking like the next person? And let me figure out what deck I would use. Do I want to use Prisoner? Yeah, the good one would be Destiny. Yeah, I think we're leaning a bit more towards Destiny this time. Okay. Oh, and let me go ahead and highlight your question, just in case you want to come back and reference it. Let's see. It's their careers and finances. Sorry if I seem to be frozen, it's just that I'm trying to sense which cards are involved. Sorry, maybe it's just that it's the first read, but I'm struggling to get a good feel for the cards. There should be some in this case. That's what I was just checking. Sometimes that's a non-answer, but okay. We found one. Took a little while getting there, but let's see if we've got more. Sorry, it looks like you've got all sorts of interesting things going on to get that answer. So it's just taking me a little while to parse through what's being communicated. It is. Not everybody appreciates the time it takes, but um, you can only do what you can do. Let's see. It's all good. And I mean, if it was a concern, I would just say there's still going to be the video afterwards. So you can always come back and reference it. Or come back and watch it later if that's more convenient. Okay, let me check if we found them all. Okay. And now what do the different pieces mean? Let me try to organize. Let me go ahead and show. Still settling on this, but and we can make that big. So some weird stuff. We have a reversed, even though this particular deck doesn't have reversed meanings associated with its card. And then this one is skew. So it's not reversed. It's an offset version of the upright meaning in this case. Um, this is a temperate pair, or at least that's what I call it. So there's the primary card on top, and then the second one behind modifies it in some way. And this is a moderate tempering. So this one is speaking to their career. This one I'm trying to nail down. This one feels like finances further into the future. And yeah, this is the corresponding finances early on. So career, finances, future finances. And I guess let me make sure we've got it all before I go flipping things. Okay. We've got 3 of Pentacles down there. And Strength is the tempering card. Up here. We've got, what is that, 6 of Cups? Yeah. Okay. And over here in the future, 6 of Wands. Well, and so the notes there are victory and good news. So finances are doing well in the further future. 6 of Cups. Well, it's offset. Let me go ahead and read on that. Hey, Autumn. Oh, hey, Hope. Doing well. How are you? 3 of Pentacles is usually planning for success. Given it's upright, though, I'm not quite sure. In fact, I'll probably want to reference some of the other guides. Strength. Well, I'll better understand that once I look that up. And I have an idea of what the 6 of Cups is, but let me read on that. So I'll set this down. So I get my hand back. And we have, let's do the 6 of Cups since we have the digital guide. And this is the offset, this skewed card. 6 of Cups is a card of nostalgia and happy memories. It is often associated with fond childhood days. This card shows up when what you feel is lost will be rescued. This is a time for good things coming from the past, reconnecting with past friends and loved ones, reunions, and even going back to a place where happy memories were created. This card is about compassion and kindness. Your situation is improving and happy times are coming your way. The magic lies in the present moment. And now we've got to figure out what the offset is, what that skew is. How to put that into words? I guess reconciliate, sort of. I mean, it's similar to justice in where past things are coming due, or coming to fruition in a sense. There's a bit more to that. I think they're getting their finances a little sorted out too. Not to say that they're in a bad place, they might just not be entirely on top of it. But they're in a good position. Yeah. Okay. So that's that 6 of Cups. I'll go ahead and show the 3 of Pentacles, but this is an upright version. So let me grab some of my other guides. Yeah, hope we can do that. So let me look at the reversed 3 of Pentacles from some of these. And this would be for the career. Too far there. Doing the wrong thing, reluctance, stepping back. Okay. And then if we, because this has 2 decks in it, if we look at the other version, non-committal, uninterested, unwilling to grow. I've got one more quick guide. Let's see. Nope. There we go. Disharmony, misalignment, working by oneself. So, I mean, obviously, they're not in the place they want to be or should be as far as work goes. But then this is tempered by strength. So, I mean, they're enduring it well. Like, they're not going to be particularly bitter or resentful or anything. But they're obviously, like, not on the right track. So, yeah. So, once they figure out how to move, and I guess they would have to prioritize it too. That might be partly why they're in that situation. But I mean, they're strong. They've got strength, so they'll be able to get out of that fairly well. Hey, Serial. So let me go ahead and show it again for the recap. And we'll make this one small. Oh, we've got it. Yep. Okay. So the reversed 3 of Pentacles, they're not in the right position. They're not in the right job. But they're sticking with it. They're bearing with it. And they're doing it with good grace, which is what we're getting from the strength that's tempering that. Is that something that should probably change? Yeah, but not the worst situation. As far as their finances, they're getting on top of it. Not to say that they're underwater or anything like that. And, well, they're going to start reaping what they've sowed. And I didn't get negative feelings about that. So probably some positive investments coming to fruition. And then farther future, doing great. So as far as money and finances go. Hopefully that was helpful, cup of tea. Hope, yes. And Serial, if you have a question you would like answered, go ahead and drop it in. Family's energy towards you. Okay. Bless me. I guess I'm not entirely sure what you're asking, Flame, but it sounds like a yes/no. And if that's how you meant to phrase it, then we can get a read on that. I don't necessarily need the clarity or the understanding to do the read. Yeah, that's going to be a Cosmo. Okay. Okay. Let me do Hope's question or Autumn as she's showing here. And then we'll do cereals and then flames. Yeah, that is the deck I need. No problem. Okay. Family's energy. And I guess for the new people, it just takes me a while to sense the cards since I'm not just flipping from the top. So if I'm quiet and not talking or appear to be frozen, that's what's up. Okay. And then do we have more cards? Check. Okay. There's more to it, but these are the relevant highlights. And that's okay. So we've got 2 of embers, 4 of lotuses, tempered by the orbs. So this would normally be strength. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to double check 4 of lotuses. 2 of embers would normally be 2 of wands. So that deals with decisions. But let me just read from the guide because each deck will have its particular skew on it. And then I'll be able to feel off of that. So we'll start with that 2 of embers. There we go. Planning, making decisions, leaving home. When the stone dancers show up in a reading, it indicates a readiness for movement and an opportune time to expand for new perspective. Perhaps you have been stagnant recently or have fallen into your comforts. You are not at the beginning or the end of something, but near the middle. It is crucial to make moves and make them soon. You don't know how long the momentum will last before it begins to slow. So yeah, kind of encouraging, actually, wanting you to take the next step or make the next move. Four of lotuses, which would normally be four of cups or chalices. Apathy, contemplation, disconnectedness. That's right. This is a card of utter disconnectedness. It finds itself in a reading when there is a sharp imbalance in things, but it suggests that it is the approach that needs correcting. Your attention on what is around you has diminished, and therefore your outlook on the world has lessened. Take this flood as a wake-up call, or a future reminder to immerse yourself in something new so that you can appreciate with the world around you, because one day it may not be there anymore. And then this is tempered by strength, or rather, the orbs, as this deck calls it. Bravery, strength, success. When the orbs come up in a reading, it is an exclamation point and declares that you have the bravery, determination, and willpower to overcome any obstacles that may come your way. Fear can cripple a powerful mind, so shake the shroud and channel your fear into strength. Once you believe in yourself, you will find many future challenges suddenly conquerable. But yeah, this is focusing on the Four of Cups. Yeah. It seems your attention isn't quite where it should be. Yeah, you've got the ability to stick with it and persevere, but I guess the energy is that you're focusing on the wrong thing, directing it the wrong way. So, concern and encouragement overall. Okay, and now Cereal. Why are they being that way? And should we confront her about it? That's not going to be it. Is that Prisma? Yeah, I think it is. Did I? Yeah, I highlighted it. Okay. Should we bring it in? Well, and the Y. Okay. Hey, Michaela. How's it going? Okay, and should we confront her? Yeah. Go ahead and drop your question in. I'm reading for Cereal right now and then Flame, but then, yeah, I'll be able to read for you as well. Get those out of the way. Okay. Which one of these? Okay, so we've got our Y. Okay, so the way this panned out, we've got the combination of three speaking to yes, no as to whether or not you should bring it up. But this one in particular is going to speak to why they're being that way. So the star, not sure why. Hanged Man and the Devil. So that seems like a no. Let me check, but the Devil's probably a no, and the Hanged Man's neutral. Yeah, star would be a yes. So altogether, no. Don't talk to them. I don't know what they're hoping with the star. Um, I guess we can read through that since that's the only, um, well, meaning we want to read into. But yeah, not really sure why they're going about it that way. Let me skim this real quick, see if something stands out. Not the moon. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're hoping for, but that's the cause of it. So yeah, I wouldn't be confrontational. I guess you could try being open and understanding about it, but try to figure out what's really motivating them. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that getting involved. No problem. Okay, and then just reading through Michaela's real quick to see if I need to clarify anything. There's a lot of things there. I'm just going to clarify with you when we get there, just because there's multiple questions involved. And that's fine. It's not an issue. Flame. So his feelings, and is it, well, some sort of fate? It's not a Prisma question. It looks like Cosmo's gonna steal this. All right, let's get this a little more centered. There we go. That's a little better. Feelings and isn't karma. Okay. Let me grab some water real quick. Throat's just been getting dry, so. Where are we starting with the karma? Excuse me. And then feelings, right? Is there more to that? Or are we good? Let's check. No, so not too much weight. Okay. Okay. So the three are going to speak to whether it's karmic. This one will speak to feelings. This one is a note or a detail, more so on the karma side of things. So Ace of Trees. So that's going to be pretty positive. The Phoenix and Ace of Birds. I'm going to have to double check because that's Ace of Pentacles. That's Ace of Swords. And I think those are both yeses. So then it's just, what does the Phoenix translate to? And I'll need to double check that. Just give me one moment. But the Ace of Trees is going to be positive on the feelings. And overall, it's looking like a yes, it's karmic. Yeah. Phoenix. The Hierophant. Let's see. Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, it is karmic or fate or destiny, however you want to think of that. Let's get into the Ace of Tree for their feelings. And then we'll get into that note on the karmic. New growth, opportunity, prosperity. It can be hard to feel, but the seed of something new is there. Give it the space it needs to grow, and it will blossom into something incredible. The sprout is an uplifting card to see in a reading. You are an intuitive person with a clear mind and an honest heart. and you will be able to tackle whatever new work comes your way. Once the opportunity has presented itself, strike the ground and get to work. So, I mean, it's positive. They've got honest feelings. They might be, how to put it, they might have been in a shell for a while, so they might be breaking out of that. So, just saying they might be a bit rough when it comes to the romance and the dating, but you guys can smooth that out. And then the Phoenix. Let's get that note. Spirituality, new awakening, oneness. If the Phoenix appears, it is time for celebration as you are approaching a new awakening and an internal holiness with the self. There is a magic bubble. I don't really feel the need to read more. Yeah, this is partly karmic, destiny. But the purpose, I guess, would be to take you to the next level, to move you that one step forward. And again, that had a light feeling to it, so it's probably more of a baby step, but it is progress nonetheless. So, positive stuff for this. And Michaela. Okay, and we need to sort this out a little. I'll just highlight this first one. Hey, Garveyite Queen. Yes, feelings are positive. Okay. All right, Queen, your question is good. Let me work through Michaela's, and then we'll do yours. So here, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. There's what's going on between you and your ex. There's how does your boyfriend really feel about you? And then in the follow-up comment, this I need a little clarity on. Is he telling the truth about what? About wanting to talk to you? But you guys have been talking for 2 months, so I don't think that's the question. So let me highlight your other one, this question. So this guy, you've been talking for 2 months, not dating. He said he wants to talk. And your question is he telling the truth? Is it just, is he telling the truth about wanting to talk? Or can you clarify or elaborate on that a little bit? Okay. I guess it just seems a bit of an odd question, but that might be the right way to phrase it, so that's fine. Looks like Prisma is our deck for this, which makes sense. Trying to get a lot of intentions here. Okay. Let me highlight your other one. Uh, I guess I just want to start with, how does the boyfriend really feel about you first? I know that's not the first one you asked, but that seems to be the right one to start with. There are good cards and then there's better cards. Just get rid of those. Yeah, okay. So we sort of got, well, there's two parts. There's the, in his head, how he thinks about you, feels about you in that regard, and then there's his feelings towards you on the bottom. So 5 of chalices. So, I mean, he feels lost. So I don't know if he thinks he's lost you already. Um, but that's the way he's seeing it. As far as how he feels, Ace of Swords, that's pretty positive. But let me double check that real quick. Because the Ace of Swords is pretty empowering. Clarity, determination, indicate an epiphany. Examine your motivations and ensure you're not being too tyrannical. Yeah. How to put that? He has positive feelings for you, but he's coming to an understanding. Or at least his heart is coming to an understanding. Although what that is, I'm not quite sure. Yes, Hope, we did. So just zoom back and get that. let me know if you have questions. So I don't know. From what I'm seeing here, it sounds like he feels like he's lost you, and he's coming to terms with that. No problem. Going on to what's up with you and the ex. I feel like I would have to do another reading, but let me see if something on the Five of Chalices stands out. Yeah, if you're wanting the why, we'll just have to do another reading to get that, and that's fine. Let me know just to be sure. But yeah, that would be another reading to get the reason behind that. But now, between you and X, what's going on? Just real quick. There we go. Okay. Okay. And move that. Okay. That's it, yeah. Yeah. So as far as you and the ex, we really only got to read on your side of things. So what's drawing you that way? Your underlying motivation. And then this has a lighter touch, but this has the feeling of a motif or theme, an undercurrent. So that's more informative than anything. 3 of chalices over here, 5 of chalices again. So interesting. Since we just saw that, but and then down here, Queen of Pentacles. So I mean, 3 of chalices, that's dealing with harmony, being in alignment. And I don't know if you usually your ex is your ex because you weren't in alignment anymore, but there's some sort of sense of rightness going on there, which is drawing you back. As far as your motivation, I mean, you've lost something, and I don't know if that's something you've lost with your current relationship or if it's just something that was never there that the ex had and this new relationship doesn't. But there's that hole you're trying to fill, essentially. Queen of Pentacles, I'll have to read up on. But let me know if you have questions on those, because the Queen's just more FYI, I guess. Prisma, yep. Masterful strength, force of creation, grounded. The Queen of Pentacles is a wonderful sign. She is the embodiment of natural goodness. She is the earthbound answer to the Empress, hale and warm and ready to provide a safe haven. If you see her crop up in a reading, you are a powerful force for creation. You are grounded in reality, exuding a subtle, masterful strength that can be channeled into any endeavor. Be prepared for everything you touch to blossom under your hand. So, I mean, part of your relationships really is learning your impact, the effect you have in the relationship. So, okay. I don't know what the rightness then of the 3 of chalices would be, but for better or worse, you're feeling like something's missing with the current person. And I don't know if that's necessarily the exact same thing, but odds are it probably is. That feels right with your ex. So, yeah. Let's get. Is this guy telling the truth? Hey, Queen. We haven't got to your question yet. Michaela just had a series in hers, so it'll be a little bit, but we're going to do you. Okay, we'll do AV. Just give me a bit. There's a few reads I need to do first. But yeah, we're doing great on time, so we'll be able to read that. Was that all we were missing? Okay. Let me just make sure. I mean, the combination is going to be the yes, no. Yeah. This one has some extra information. So 8 of chalices, 4 of wands, 4 of pentacles. That's looking like a no. So, and then 4 of wands. So that would be a yes, but the 8 of cups would be a no. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking like a no. But really, all we get from the 4 of pentacles is that there's a selfish aspect to it. So you could say greedy. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I've really got on why he's wanting to talk. So I don't know. I don't know if that's grounds enough to just not meet up, but this is for Michaela. So her question's on screen right now. And then I've got one more for her, which would be this question. The why he thinks or feels that way. After Michaela, I'm going to read for Queen. And then you, Avi. So not too long of a wait. Unless the reading takes a particularly long time. Okay. Well, as I was just telling Avi, there's a couple readings before you, but we'll be able to get to your reading. Why? So let me focus on Michaela's question here. Okay. Just one card, but I'm getting a strong sense that it's a history. So stuff that's repeated itself over time previously, which is causing him to think that way. And that's Queen of Pentacles. So, yeah, I mean, that's your ability to have a positive creative impact. Let me see if something stands out from the cards. Maybe you've been too liberal about that with others, at least as far as they're concerned. Strength, force of creation, grounded. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'm really getting is that you're using this for other things. And I don't know that I would say other relationships, but that might be how they're perceiving that. For other people at the very least, and not so much on your relationship with him. Or if you are, he's taking it for granted. So, yes, you may ask a question. We've got a few people now, so I'll do my best to get to it. But yeah, we'll just need to go through them as we can. So, Queen's question. Will we be in a relationship in the future? Okay. So go ahead and drop your question in. I feel like we should have time, but it's hard for me to judge. That's the only downside. And of course, you can come back and watch the video later if that's more convenient. Or come to another session, I guess. There's opportunities. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Will do. And again, if you want to hang around, that's great. But if you just want to watch the video later, that's fine too. Okay. No, that's the right one. Okay. Will that we be in a relationship in the future? I guess I should check if there's extra information, but it really did feel like just a yes, no. Yeah, there might be a hint here. 5 of Swords, Page of Wands, as well as Ace of Wands. Let me check the wands. They tend to be tricky. Okay. So the wands would say yes, the 5 of Swords is putting a damper on this. So yes, but it'll take time to come about. With the 5 of Swords, there's some sort of, gosh, let me see if I can get a better feel of that. Yeah, I can't really narrow that down more. It says conflict on it. I don't know what the conflict is. I don't know if it's an internal conflict. I don't know if it's a conflict of interest, to be businessy, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what that clash is. But that's putting a damper on it. But otherwise, yeah, it's a matter of time. That's what we're getting from this. So yes, but it'll take time. Presumably to resolve the conflict. Okay. Avi. Here we go. And then after Avi, we've got Hannah, and then I'm just going to call you Key for now. I hope that's okay. Yes, it'll just take time. I don't know how much time. Maybe I should have checked for that. Yeah, I don't really know. So not near future, not immediate future, I guess. But yes, it's just a matter of time before that happens. Let me check if this is the right deck. Yeah, it looks like we're using Prisma for this one. And yeah, that was speaking to you, Queen, that it'll be a matter of time. But yes. All right, back to AV. And we're using Prisma. I guess wow. Because, I mean, there are two questions. They're just sort of mutually exclusive. Is he undecided or does he want out? And alternatively, does he want in? But that's not what we're asking about. So we'll just see if we can gather his intent concerning you. Okay, I guess I'm just used to getting more information. But yeah, this is intentions towards you. And that's King of Pentacles. So that would be very affirmative for making it happen. And I can read from the deck for that, or from the guide for that. But yeah. Competent leader, mastery of environment. If you crave mastery of your environment, there is no better card to draw than the King of Pentacles. He is the pinnacle of experience, hard work, and blunt intelligence, and as a result, he is relied upon in his community for his competence. Embody his power and ability to get things done. You do not need to wait for inspiration. You can stoke the fire within yourself. Muster all your strength and hurtle over anything that stands in your way. So there's, I mean, a making it happen sort of thing. I mean, if you're asking, then maybe he's just being slow about it, methodical, um, first things first sort of stuff. But this is all positive as far as his intention. All right. Hannah. Does Cody have any romantic feelings towards you? And yeah, that's going to be a Destiny question. Referring to my deck. So let me go ahead and swap this. Okay. And just the way you framed it, it's a yes, no. We'll see if we get any extra information out of it. Let's go somewhere else. Okay. Okay. So we got 4 cards. We got 3 for yes, no. Does he have romantic feelings? Or she, I guess. But this card on topic is just going to characterize it a bit. So, well, and we'll get there. 2 of Swords, Page of Wands, and Judgment. Page of Wands is a yes. 2 of Swords, that's an exception. Okay. And then Judgment, I'm curious. So that's a yes as well. But really, the 2 of Swords is acting as a trump in this case. And here, let me go ahead and show the guide I'm referencing. Oh, you can't see it. I'm covering it up. Oh, well. The 2 of Swords is saying, we don't know. Oh. Let me try killing that, see if that'll clear it up. Yeah, so much better. So the 2 of Swords is saying, we don't know. I mean, the rest of this is positive, but that's getting its trump. Let's get the characterization here. 2 of Pentacles. Oh, that makes sense. Decisions have to be made. So that's probably Cody deciding whether or not you're something he wants to have feelings for, or well, someone he wants to have feelings for. Sorry, don't mean to objectify. So I mean, probably currently, right now, yes. Um, will that continue to be the case? We don't know because, well, he's in the process of deciding, assuming it's a he. Yeah. Don't really have advice on intervening or not, because I mean, it can backfire just as easily as it can help. So, and we didn't really get anything there. So, okay, and key. What should you be doing now to better your situation? Which is great. Because this is going to be a lost forest question. This deck is geared more towards introspective, self-improvement stuff. So not many people have questions like this. So sadly, I don't get to use it much, but I love the art on this. Well, we did the reading for it, AV. So go ahead and go back, read up on that, or I guess watch that. Yeah. And if you've got questions, you can go ahead and comment here or DM me, because we might be ending with key here. So, but to summarize what the answer was, he feels positively about proceeding with you. And that's the short of it. I would go watch to get the full of it, because I elaborate a bit, but yeah. What should you be doing? There are good things and there are better things. So I'm guessing you've got your work cut out for you. Don't let that intimidate you. It's just going to be one step at a time, one day at a time. Okay. So a few things. This is the thing to work on, but this is a home-based support. This is something you can come back to, um, just to ground yourself, make sure you're, well, on solid footing and heading the right way. Um, this one's going to help you make that forward progress. It doesn't detract from your work. It's not going to do it for you by any means, but it will help. So, home base, and then, well, a force to help push you that way. 10 of fire. Interesting. The support, Knight of Earth. And up here, 6 of Skies. Okay. So, I mean, 10 of fire, that's like impending. That would normally be 10 of swords in a usual deck. So that's end is nigh sort of stuff, preparing for that. That's probably the wrong way to put it. More simply, preparing for your world to end. And that's not necessarily the whole world, that's not all of existence, but life as you know it ending, whether that's, gosh, how many ways could that manifest? Like a loved one dying, a long-term relationship walking out, maybe even a terminal illness, perhaps. So it's preparing for that sort of stuff. And obviously, unlike end of the world, you can't just food prep and shelter, stuff like that. You have to prepare yourself spiritually and emotionally. Hey, Vigero? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Key, go ahead and clarify your confusion. I'll need to read up on the Knight of Earth and the 6 of Skies, but this is the thing to work on. Keep going. And I'll go ahead and get the other 2 cards. Okay. Hey, Vera. Go ahead and drop your question in. We're doing Key right now, but then we can do yours. Let me read it. Okay. Well, and that's where I had to clarify what I meant by that. Because it's not the end of everything. It's just the end of life as you know or understand it. So, like, yeah, like if you were a kid, which I'm just assuming you're not, and your parent, your guardian, whoever dies, Um, that's okay, Vero. We'll work through it. Speaking to Key, though, like that is a life altering sort of event. Um, your world changes drastically in that sort of event. Uh, so, does that clear things up? Okay, well, the Knight of Earth, that's hard work. Um, so, if you have a job, stick with it, or, well, and if you don't get one, um, but yeah, the theme there is having some sort of regular employment. Um, that was the home base, and then let me get the Six of Skies. Okay. How's that going? Okay. Keep going, Vera. Um, but speaking to Key, for the Six of Skies, uh, it's really, I mean, the theme there is change. And I think that's really just identifying the next thing you want to change about yourself. So, and really, I got the sense of small steps. Um, it'll ultimately lead to bigger things, but um, you've got the goal of being able to handle the 10 of fire. The Six of Steps is breaking that down into their different pieces, um, and then focusing in one by one. I guess Key. Do you still have questions? I mean, I can see how that's not clicking for you. Um, but for me, tragic events like you would get from the 10 of fire, like I've already come to terms with that sort of stuff. And so that just doesn't phase me, really. So whereas I think you might be seeing that as a source of negativity, um, I've just incorporated that into my reality and it's no longer a scary thing. Um, it's no longer a fear, really. Does that make sense? I guess if that's a bit much and you need time to chew on it, that's fine. Um, I would start with that Night of Earth, the home base, and that's just finding some regular employment. So get that in position and you can tackle this when you're ready. It might come to you rather than you coming to it, but that'll help you. Uh, Vero, are you saying the baby is okay, or are you asking if the baby is going to be okay? Yeah. Okay. So we're asking if they're going to be okay. Um, that's probably not from this deck. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's going to be cosmic questions. Given how you phrased it, this will probably come out as a yes or a no. Sometimes there's extra information. Uh, but I'll let you know if that's the case. Do we have hints? Yeah. So we've got our yes, no. We don't really have a lot of extra information, but I get the feeling that these kind of hint. So those will probably clarify a little bit what the answer is. The bridge, so that's normally the moon. The peacock would be the empress. And the 10 of trees would be 10 of pentacles. So that's a yes and a yes. The question is moon. No. So yes, but it will take time. So I guess just the infancy. I mean, up through 10 years, it feels like that's going to be where it's going to be harder. More so early on, of course, but um, it seems like it's going to work out. Let's get the details here. And for that, let me pull the book because each deck has their nuance. So, oh, wrong side. Peaceful, nurturing, fusion of opposites. Okay. As well as the bridge. There we go. I mean, the sense I'm getting from the bridge is false alarms. Um, and then the peacock, yeah, that's bridging. So I'll show them again just to summarize. You're going to have a role bridging, well, your child's experience with the rest of the world. Right? You know the normal experience. Well, and they have a different experience compared to most people. And it's probably going to be tough initially, but I feel like it'll be easy over time. You'll be able to help translate, map things from a normal understanding to their understanding. So, again, that initial rough period, but you'll be able to work that out. The bridge, as I said before, it's the sense I get is false alarms. So probably overreacting is the one thing I would worry about. I mean, obviously, with a child like this, you want to be on top of things, but you may overdo it, and that's that. Yeah. So if you can, just concerning this child, when stuff happens, try to slow down, pump the brakes, um, and really try to understand them. Which, I mean, that's just going to help you as the peacock build the actual bridge. So, yep. So, yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and call that good. No problem. Glad I could help. I'll just pop our schedule in case people watch it later. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, different times. I am looking for a job. So when that happens, this will probably shift a bit. But for now, this is what we're doing. And if you want to connect with us, that's a link. It should be in the description as well. It'll take you to some of the social media or the streaming. And there's a PayPal link if you want to donate. So otherwise, hope you're doing great, doing well. And until